Welcome to my garden and my video series on my new book, Garden Sanctuary, Designing for Comfort, Wholeness, and Connection. It's a how-to garden design book that takes readers on a transformative journey of creating their own personal connection to nature, their own garden sanctuary. Hi, my name's John Beaudry. I'm a landscape artist and landscape contractor, and this is a series of 4 videos based on my new book, Garden Sanctuary. This video, I'm going to talk about the 7 principles of arts and crafts style. The arts and crafts movement started as a rebellion to the Industrial Revolution in the 1800s. They fought for better rights for workers and preserving the crafts of goldsmiths, leathersmiths, all the trades. People were coming from an agrarian lifestyle for a better life in the city, and conditions were deplorable. The arts and crafts movement arose as a means of having a better life for the workers and preserving the crafts. So out of that, I've distilled down 7 principles that help to make a garden feel whole, make it feel comfortable, in a place where you feel connected to something larger than yourself. So the first principle is to unify the house and garden. One way to do that is to bring the living space out into the garden. So in this case, we have a patio right off the kitchen, and this is where we can come out and dine al fresco. Down the path over here and around the corner is another seating area that's more secluded, where I like to meditate. You can unify the house by finding the proportion of the house inside, which is, if you notice, most homes have, most of the rooms are similar size inside. So if you extend rooms outside that are proportional to those rooms, that'll help you create unity of house and garden. The next principle is using nature as a primary source of inspiration. Now for that, you really need to go out into nature and notice how plants grow in drifts. And you can mimic that in the garden, the way that I've mimicked this drift of iris around the bend over here. It really takes time to go and sit and relax into nature and observe. And that's part of being connected to something larger than yourself. The next principle is using local plants and materials. Now, here in California, we live in a Mediterranean climate, and we can draw from Mediterranean climates around the planet. If you live in the Midwest or in a temperate zone, there's other regions around the world where you have similar plants. Using climate-adapted plants is one of the keys to planting a good garden. Using native plants is even a step better, because you're helping support the local flora and local fauna. In this garden, I'm being a horticulturist, I'm prone to experimentation, and I have all kinds of plants in my garden. But to create a garden that's really in harmony with nature, you want to use as many native plants and climate-adapted plants as possible. You want to group plants so that their watering needs are similar, so that you don't waste water. The next principle is to use relaxed plantings. It's great to have a really crisp structure for your garden, strong lines that define the spaces, and then let the plants relax and overflow over those boundaries. Again, along this pathway, you can see the line of the grass, but the irises spill over the edge and give that a relaxed and informal feeling, which makes it feel at home and comforting, not so stuck up as a prim, formal, pristine garden, but those are really nice and appropriate spaces as well. The next principle is to enclose the garden in its rooms. So the original description of the word garden was a safe place, and we want our gardens to feel safe, and that's what's going to add to the feeling of comfort. So you might need to do that with fences, but as we've done here, we've got fences across the back. But notice there's lots of plants planted in front, which gives that sense of enclosure by a living, green environment. That's what makes a garden feel really warm and inviting. The next principle is to integrate the existing landscape. So in this garden, we removed 12 trees when we were planting, but this orange tree was here, this pineapple guava was here, this persimmon tree in the background here, which is just leafing out now, was here. Those really, leaving those, despite the fact that they're beautiful, productive fruit trees, they also give the garden a sense of age and not looking so new. So as much as you can incorporate the existing landscape, do that. And then the last one is to include edible plants. Now, I started out my last video in my vegetable garden, but we also have fruit trees here, the orange, the guava, we have a pomegranate, persimmon, pear, guava, and this pineapple guava is a great example of not only are the fruits edible, but the flowers are as well. You can pick these like a nasturtium, which you may know is edible, and these little petals are like candy. They are so delicious and sweet. So that's it for this video. Tune in for the next one where I'm going to introduce the fundamentals of landscape design. The fundamentals of landscape design include the principles and the elements of design. The elements of design are the things in the garden: line, point, form, color, texture. And the principles are how we combine those elements to make a beautiful garden. So tune in next time. Thanks so much for being with me. Have a great day.